Hi, Julie Torrens here. So I have a project that I think you might like, especially if you're wanting to dabble in watercolor but a little bit afraid, not sure. I've got some stamps and I've got some acrylic blocks. I've got my woodies, my who makes these? Stabilo woodies. And I pulled out just some floral stamps. You're going to need, I've got a water source like I do for watercolor, handful of brushes, and then I've got my mister. And I'm just going to hang my stamp over the mister. I gave it 2 hits. It's a little bit wet, too wet. I'm just giving it a one-time tap on the paper towels. Grabbing a red, and I'm just coloring over the lines, just drawing. I'm not paying super close attention, but a little bit. And I'm going to put the red in the middle, but then I'm going to grab my brown and just put a little bit of brown in the very middle. Now let's see what we get. This is my Amazon Basics watercolor paper, and it comes 12 by 9. So I cut it in half, so we've got 6 by 9. Now you do have to hold this for a moment. And, okay, let's see what we got. Pretty. Don't worry. I can see it's dry. I'm going to just give it a one-time mist. Just a one-time mist. Going back in with my red. So how are you? I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Over the whole middle. If the crayon, whatever you're using, feels like it's dragging, then you probably don't have enough water. But if it's all dripping and all that, well, then that's too much water. All right, I'm going to put another one right over here. And my paper was dry. I don't have it taped down because I don't plan to just saturate it. And let's see. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. I'm going to give it a try without another spray. Yeah, it's gliding. And that's what I want. I want it to glide over the lines of my stamp. I spent yesterday over at my son and daughter-in-law's. My grandson and I, we did master boards, and it was his first time using glitter. We had a lot of fun. All right, right here. I probably hold it down for about 10 seconds is my guess. Let's see. Great. Okay, now I'm going to give this a couple of mists, and I'm over my water, and I'm going to take my paper towel and give it a good rub. Now, this is all water soluble, so when you're all done, you may decide that you want to just take your stamps over to the sink and give them if they're not on a wood, give them a good go. Okay, I'm going to take this one, which is like a sideways one, a sideways flower. And let's put a couple of these in. I'm going to mist it once. Yeah, that looks good. And kind of a yellowy color. And I'm going at the bottom. And then I'm going to take that brown again on the flower center. And let's give this a go. Now, if they overlap a little bit, I'm not worried. I'm going to put this one right here. 2, 3, 4. Doesn't time go by slow that way? Oh, the worst. Ready, go. Good. Good. I'm going to put a couple more of these. How's it look? It looks wet enough. don't rub too hard because then you just get wax chunks or pigmenty waxy chunks. Brown. Okay. No two come out the same, that's for sure. I think I'm going to put this one up here. Okay. Yeah, we did master boards. I had glitter. I had my punches and some different papers that he punched out and glued on. It was, like collage style. I had markers. I used markers, but I'm going to give this a spray one time. Okay. But whatever I did with the markers didn't seem to inspire him to use them, which is of course fine, but he made a nice collage. He used some washi tape. Nice collage for his mom's office. Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to put this one down here. Like this. Today is Sunday. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, I'm going to take my paper towel. I'm going to give this another mist because I can see a lot of pigment on there. And I will probably take these over to the kitchen sink when we're done and just give them a rinse. Because these crayons, they do have a bit of a wax to them. And I don't want that to get in the way of when I'm using inks. Okay, so I've got some stems that came with this set. This is, like I said, an old Tim Holtz set. If I didn't say that, I should have. It's an old Tim Holtz set. I'm going to use the one with leaves. And I don't have an acrylic block that will fit this. So I'm just using my Ranger ruler. I use it a lot for this. 2 sprays because 1 spray doesn't get the whole length of it. Using a green. It's gliding real nice. And let's see. Where do I want this? Here? I don't know if you can hear, but the geese, they're just all going at it like making honking, like there's a fox in the pond or something. But I don't know. If whatever it is that's troubling them, I don't see it. That doesn't mean anything, but it's not obvious to me. Okay. Put one up here. But doesn't this seem like something, if you're a little bit shy of watercolor, that you could do? I am just going to put some of this on the leaves. It doesn't even quite feel wet enough, but I'm going to pretend. Maybe, let me angle this a little bit. Like that. And it should pretty much just get the leaves, but we'll see. Who knows what we're going to get. Whatever it is, we're going to like it. Yeah, we got the whole thing, but that's fine. I'm going to put one more on here. It is really dry now. Just a tiny bit of water. And the more water, of course, the more watery, the less water, the drier. We'll go this way. Okay. All right. Looking good to me. Let's wipe this off. All right. Whoops. Okay, and give this a little wipe. Now, I am going to take one of my brushes. This is a small brush. This one is my Princeton Snap. It's a number 2 round. Wet it. Dab, dab. As I say, I've just put it back in the water because I think I kind of overdid it with the dabbing. This one looks the wettest to me. So I'm going to start with it. Not enough water. And it will pick up the colors that are under it. That's okay. These colors are transparent. The leaves are transparent. Just putting my tip in the water. And just kind of following tip. Just following the lines of the stamp. I'm trying to not completely obliterate the lines. Little tip. Just filling in these little flowers. I'm going to wet my brush, but I'm not rinsing it. And now I'm going to get the brown. Isn't that something, how it just blooms? Now, maybe you've got some Caran d'Ache neocolors, or, use what you have. Use what you have. I haven't tried this with watercolor pencils, but I could. If you want to see that in a video, let me know in the comments. But can you see that you don't have to be like a real fancy drawing person to be able to watercolor some pretty, loose, watery flowers? Sure you can. Why not? You can do what I'm doing. All I'm doing is wetting the tip of my brush. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I don't know if you had when you were a kid, but I know my grandson has them even now, where it's a coloring book, but the images have these dots, and the dots are pigment, and he just goes over it with a wet brush, and those dots bloom into color. A lot of fun. Good thing to do, like, if you are in a waiting room and you know you're going to be there for a little while. Just bring a water bottle and a little container of some sort and one of those books. Okay, I'm going for the brown. I didn't rinse my brush. I just made it wet. And over here, as I say, I'm not trying to obliterate or completely obscure the lines that the stamps provided. Now, maybe you're looking at this and thinking, well, that could use a little more brown. I'm just got the tip of my brush wet. I'm just gonna rub it on the brown crayon and then go back. And look. And just give it a little more. What do you think? Nice. All right. I'm gonna go for the red ones now. I'm gonna change brushes. I'm just gonna go up a brush. So this is my Princeton Snap number 6. Wetting my brush, dab, dab. And let's get started. I'm not going to go in the very center where I put the brown. Not yet. And I am following the flower. I'm not just scrubbing over the whole thing. So that whatever brush strokes show, it's going to be the direction that makes sense for the flower. And I am avoiding the leaves. I'm going to go over them last. Little tip in the water, and I'm just going to head for the more red. I've got red on my brush, so I'm just heading for the red. And I am going around the yellow, even though I can see the red lines. A little more water on the tip. I went right over that, didn't I? It's okay. The brown was so little bit. I'm just putting my tip of my brush in the water when you see me head for some more water. When I do all the centers, I'll just beef up that brown. But let's do this one. Tell me in the comments if you're going to do this. I do think you need a paper. I know you do. You need a paper that can handle some water. I'm not sure what your results would be if you're just using printer paper. Now, cardstock, you might be fine with. Mixed media paper, I know you'll be fine with. I'm using, as I said, my Amazon Basics. Okay, I'm grabbing the brown and I'm just gonna get some on that tip and then just put some, oh boy, that's plenty. I'm gonna grab my paper towel and give it a little poof. There we go. Nice. Okay. Good. All right, I'm heading into the green. Now I could be doing a lot. Now, do you see how I extended it up to the flower? I could be doing all kinds of different watercolor stuff, but I want you to feel like this is something you can do. And if I start doing that, you're going to say, well, there was no point in stamping. You just, did your own thing. And I understand that. So I'm just going to follow the stamping. Now I fell into a little bit of that red, so I'm just going to rinse my brush, dab, dab, so that I'm back to green. And you can lengthen those stems out a little bit, why not? Alrighty. I'm dipping into just the tip. A lot of this had pretty much dried, but it reactivates when you hit it with some water. Here. Okay, good. Now I'm just going to grab my green and put some on the tip here. And I'm just going to add a couple more watery stems. One more. I'm not adding leaves, but if you wanted some more leaves, let's rinse this off. Let's grab our little guy, and we just want some leaves. So I am just going to give it a spray, grab my green, just color in the leaf. And where do I want that leaf? Which one? This one. Right there. 3, 4, 5. Yay! Again. Right here. 3, 4, 5. Good. Now those are pretty wet. So I'm just going to take my dry. Nice. It made like a little stem here for some reason, and another leaf kind of showed up here, and I'm just putting some, like rubbing my brush over it so that it, doesn't look just lost. Hey, this is cute. All right, I'm going into this orangey yellowy color that I used. I'm just going to load my brush up. little more water, and give it that touch of watercolor. What do you think? Good. Rinsing my brush, little dabbing, little dab dab. Grabbing the green at the bottom. And there. I think this is adorable. I hope you give it a try. Okay, well, I was in the process of editing, and while this was drying, it dried in a way that it kind of lost. So I'm going to work on it some more. And this could happen with watercolor. They shift a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my little Sharpie here. I'm just getting it started on a piece of scratch paper. And I'm holding it in the way back, but I'm just going to kind of define. And I'm going to start with the flowers that I feel like are on top. And I'm just going to kind of follow, and I am not going to do every line. Now this has a little bit of waxiness, like I said, and my Sharpie may not like it. We'll see. You know I've got more. And it's kind of skipping, and that's good. Kind of sketchy. I'm going to bring my hand in a little bit just so I can get a little more control for these little lines. Okay, let's go find this one. I'm gonna start with these little lines again. And again, I am following a drawing that's already here. Moving my hand to the back. So I'm getting real sketchy, wiggly little lines. I do not want any precision. I want a little more lines, real little ones around this edge. All right, I'm gonna go to this one. Now this one, see, I know it's going to be hard for you to see with my hand straight up, but the marker doesn't want to write just the way that the nib is. All right, it's probably got some wax in it. Hang on. Just going to scribble some of that wax off. I'm going to get another one. No sense in frustrating ourselves. This is a real thin one. It's my Stetler. It's all right. Yeah, it doesn't like the wax either. That's okay. We'll go. Don't give up. Don't give up. If you can hear a baby crying, that baby lives downstairs, and the poor thing probably needs a nap. And here we go. Okay, nice. I'm liking it. I'm going to work on this one, and I'm going to bring my hand in to just follow the little lines that you can't really see that good. But they're there, and a few that stretch all the way out. Put some dots in there. This one didn't lose as much definition as some of the others. I'm holding the pen way back. Okay, how about this one? Way back. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can hear that, but boy, she's just giving her parents a bit of a time. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's probably nap time after lunch. Few dots. I'm going back over this one. Yeah. All right, I'm liking it. A few more little lines here, there, here, there. And the stems, I'm just putting a straight line through them. Well, not really straight, but sketchy. Real sketchy. Yep, very sketchy. How are we doing? Ah, good. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging in there with me this long. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't. Today's a great day to subscribe and it doesn't cost you a thing. A video's gonna pop up here. I'll see you over there.